Hey guys, Kayla here. If we haven't met, I'm the one that creates the oil posts here on this account. So today I'm hopping on to go over with you guys the 3 main ways that you can use doTERRA oils in your home. I get a lot of questions around, I kind of know what an oil is, but how would I even use it with my kids, with myself? So I'm gonna quickly go over how you can easily use them in your home. And a lot of you have been getting started recently, and I'm super excited for you. And so I want you guys to have this information. I've shared on it before, but I wanna give it again so that hopefully you can learn something new. So there are 3 different ways to use doTERRA oils. And these are pretty much specific to doTERRA because there are so many quality and purity differences out there on the market with oils. And I want you guys to understand, and I will probably do another live on this at another time, is that quality and purity are not the same thing. So you could have an oil that technically doesn't have any crap added to it, which is rare. If I'm being totally honest, it's very rare to find an oil that's not been adulterated because there are a lot of newer companies on the market that just want to make money. And so they do it the easiest and the cheapest way as possible. And most oils are simply fragrance, which means they have no therapeutic property and you're paying for a smell that is laden with chemicals. So it's really unfortunate, but you might have an oil that is pure, that maybe does pass simple GCMS testing, which is the typical test that you would run on an oil. So it might be pure, but that doesn't mean that it is a quality oil. So when doTERRA makes oils, they not only look at the purity, we actually run 54 tests on our oils. 11 of the tests are done by a third party and the rest are done in-house. It is more testing than any other company does, especially sending to a third party because it's a lot more expensive. But that's not the only thing they look at. They don't just look at, is there anything added to these oils? They also look at, are they quality? Are they giving our body those therapeutic qualities, those chemical constitutes that we need to actually have an effect? So that is really important. So when you see an oil that says that it's like doTERRA, that it is pure, whatnot, I want to tell you guys that nobody is sourcing oils and testing oils the way that doTERRA is. So we have 96% exclusivity with our oils, meaning that no one else has the same chemical composition, the same blend. No one else has the same oil, which means it doesn't have the same effect. So when I'm talking about these different ways to use oils and get results, don't expect that you can go to your local health food store or just jump online and buy a random oil and that it will work the same. doTERRA really sets the standard in the industry, and I want you guys to really know that when I'm talking about how to use these oils, because I don't want people going out and buying a random oil and then it doesn't work for you. Where you waste your money, or you buy an oil, from your local health food store and maybe you use it in a certain way and you have a reaction. I don't want people to have that experience. So I can only vouch for doTERRA oils. I can speak to the fact that their purity is different just from researching other companies and how they do things. But I love knowing that they do 54 tests on every single sample of oil and that they are constantly doing oil research to know what our body needs to fight off free radicals, to help with respiratory support, to support the skin and healing and all of the different things that we want to support our body with. They're researching, okay, what chemicals need to be in these oils, these chemical compounds, to have that reaction in the body. And that is what I love. I love that scientific part. So back to the basics, because I know that was a little bit of a tangent. The basics of using oils. There are 3 different ways to use a doTERRA essential oil. The first one is by far the easiest, and it's using a diffuser. A diffuser is not a humidifier. It does not heat the oils. it simply disperses them in the air without changing their chemical compounds. So when you heat them, it changes it, right? So it's not a humidifier, it's very different. So a diffuser is something I always recommend that you have. I didn't have a diffuser for my first year using doTERRA because I thought I didn't need one. I was more like, I don't really think that diffusing is the right way to go. I want to use them this way. And then I got one and it was a game changer. So I always recommend everyone have a diffuser because it is the easiest way to use oils and it's great. So it's very simple. You just fill to the red line with water, and in this diffuser I add generally 4 to 6 drops of oil. When you're using doTERRA, it doesn't take very much because they are super potent. And what diffusing does is it helps kill germs in the air. It can help with respiratory support. It can help with sleep when you're putting the diffuser next to your bed. It can help get rid of odors in the air, which is always great. It helps your house smell better naturally. You get rid of all of those yucky candles that have a bunch of really bad stuff in it. Great for immune support, great for the mood, great for focus. So you really can put whatever you want in here depending on what you want to use it for. So any oils can be diffused together. All of doTERRA's oils can be diffused. It just, whatever smell you prefer or whatever response that you want. Everybody's gonna have a slightly different preference for what they want to diffuse. So a diffuser is the number one way you can use them. The second way that you can use doTERRA oils is topically. So topically basically just means placing on your skin. And when you do this, you're gonna wanna dilute with a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil, which you can buy most places. And the reason why you dilute is, one, you don't wanna develop a skin sensitivity. When you put neat oils, undiluted, on your skin in the same spot over and over again, your skin can get kind of mad. Because it is so powerful. So it's always a good idea to dilute, even if it's just slightly, if you like things stronger. Also, it actually helps the oil absorb better in your skin. It carries the oil into your skin, so less of it evaporates, and so you're actually getting a greater benefit from the oil. So I highly recommend. Some oils are really hot, so if you don't dilute them, they will burn. Oregano is a prime example. Always dilute them. So you can actually buy them in roller bottles. This is part of the Touch collection. This is the On Guard Touch, and this is pre-diluted. So if you want to try them out and you want them already diluted, this is a good way to go. I actually use these on my kids. They're already made up. They're easy. Normally the bottles come just pure, 100% pure oil. These are not diluted, and you dilute them yourself. And this goes a long way. You have 250 drops in this 15 milliliter. You only need a drop or two to make a difference. And if you pick up some of these empty rollers, you can actually make your own roller, and this little bottle of oil will last you a super long time. So when you dilute them, you're basically just going to apply them on your skin. Now there's different places you can apply them. For overall effect, I typically apply on my spine. I'll just, reach the roller back and rub it on my back, or for my kids, or our feet. And that's really just to get it in your bloodstream so that your body can put it to work. Now for mood, I love to apply to the forearms and the wrists. A really great way to be able to smell it. Over the heart is a good place. If my tummy hurts, I'm gonna apply it on my tummy. If my back is hurting, I'm gonna apply it on my back. So topical is pretty self-explanatory. It's applying it wherever you need support. So if you know where that is, if you're like, hey, my doctor said, my liver is just not doing so well, maybe you want to apply oils that are supportive to the liver over the liver in that area, right? I don't know all my anatomy, so I can't tell you all of the places. That's what I ask. My husband's more of the medical professional, so I ask him like, hey, where's my liver? Where's my gallbladder? Where's all of that? So that way I know where to apply my oils. That's what he's for. But if you know it's a specific thing, apply it on that specific thing. If you're not sure, apply it on your feet or your spine. Your body is smart. It will know where to take it, where to go. Right upper quadrant for liver. Awesome. So if any of you are wondering, I luckily have a very healthy liver, so I haven't had to apply oils there. But really great to apply them, in particular places where you might need support just because it's more localized. So when it gets into your bloodstream, it's right where it needs to go rather than traveling around. But, you know, 1 drop of oil on your body can actually touch on every single cell in your body within 20 minutes. So it's pretty amazing. Very, very amazing. The third way that you can use doTERRA oils is internally. Now, some people don't feel like this is something they want to do for whatever reason, and you get to use oils on your body the way that it feels good for you, okay? So just because I use them internally, if you don't want to, then don't. I've been using them internally for years and years and years, and it's one of my favorite ways for supporting my mood, supporting inflammation in my body, and also one of my favorite ways when I have a really acute issue, like when I'm not feeling well and things like that. It's just a really great way to intensify the amount of support that you're giving your body. So there's a couple different ways to use internally. You can take your oil, you can put a couple drops in water, like 4 ounces of water. You can put a couple drops in a shot of water, take it quickly, put it in, 4 to 8 ounces of water and drink it throughout the day. It only takes a drop or 2, you don't need a lot. You can simply take it and drop it under your tongue, and that's awesome. You can take it on your thumb and press it to the roof of your mouth. That's a really, really good way to get it quickly into your body. And they also have gel caps like this. Certain oils are made into gel caps, and so this is a really easy way to take them internally. This is our digestive blend. There's only about 2 drops total in these. I know it looks like there's a ton, but there's not. There's just 2 drops, so very minimal amount, and you just swallow that with water. Super easy. You can also buy these veggie capsules. This is my favorite way because it's super easy. And they are gelatin capsule that you just open up, and you can just drop your oils right in. You can get droppers from Oil Life to use on the oils if you're not so good, being coordinated to drop it in, or it's a thicker oil. And you just put a couple drops of whatever oil you're using in there and you swallow it. You just take it right away. Super, super easy. So there's really a lot of different ways to incorporate your oils depending on what you're wanting to use them for and what your comfort level is and what works best for your body too. Because you'll figure out, what works really well for you and what doesn't. What you see a response from and what you don't. So really listen to your body to kind of see what it needs and use the oils in that way. So I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to give you guys a small breakdown on different ways that you could use your oils, or if you haven't started, you have an idea of what that might look like in your home and what that might look like when you use your oils. I know when I first started using oils, I really, I wasn't sure. I had only ever used them more for aromatherapy. And so this was all very new to learn all of these different ways they could be used for medicinal support, and what a true pure oil could do in your body was all new to me as well. And so play with them, try it out, mix them together. Any of them can be mixed together. All of them can be used in the diffuser, all of them can be used topically, and almost all of them can be used internally, and it will actually say on the bottle, that if it's only meant for topical or aromatic use, it will say that. If not, it will say that you can use that internally. There's not that many that you can't use internally, and it's really because the plant's not meant to be ingested. Like wintergreen is one of them, or cedarwood is another one. So there's not very many. So you can always mix them together, figure out what works for you, pick a couple that you want for, hey, I want to use a couple for immune support. Okay, I'm gonna pick On Guard and frankincense and, arbor vitae, because I know that those are 3 that are really good for the immune system. And maybe I'll make a roller of those, or I'll throw them in the diffuser, or, if they're safe to take internally, I'll take a drop or 2 internally. So that's kind of how I use my oils on a daily basis. And as you go along, you'll learn which category different oils fit in as far as what they help with. And when you get a good resource book, that will teach you a lot as well. So I hope that was helpful. If you need any help getting started with oils and you want to get started with a lot of education in place, that is something that I offer. So please go ahead and message me. When you get started with me, you get access to a lot of education that is in a private group and on a private website. So you will get even more than I put out here. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Get out there, use your oil so you can feel your best, and I will talk to you soon.